Hi, good evening, everyone. This is Tabai Yusuf Marcel, very well known as the Christ elect ambassador. Yeah, I am the ambassador of Christ. So, recently I hear a lot of Muslims arguing on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube saying the Jews never accepted Muhammad because Muhammad was an Arab and the Jews were not happy that there was and did not believe there was an Arab prophet. This is just a propaganda by most Muslims to just make themselves feel good and make the Jews look bad. This is not why the Jews did not accept Muhammad. And as a matter of fact, there were a lot of people who were not Jewish by birth, but the Jews actually accepted them as prophets. Someone like Job, for example, Job was not a Jew by birth. His birthright, he wasn't a Jew, but the Jews accepted him to be a prophet of God. And there are many other people like that when you look through the Bible history. But really, why did the Jews not accept Muhammad? This is what I'm here to talk about today. Number one reason is the standard of judgment. If you know the Jews very well, you know they have a standard of judgment for testing prophets. And number one thing they do in their standard of judgment is that you tell them the laws according to the Torah. This means you pass the first test. Then number two, they know that God sends a prophet with a very specific message. For example, now like you can say, okay, tomorrow is going to rain very heavily, but the ground will not be wet. That's something that is nearly impossible to happen. Not just going to say, oh, tomorrow is going to be sunny, people are going to pass the street, not all same things other prophets prophesied in the past. Or you must bring something new and specific, and you must give exact details to the things happening, like saying at 6:50 tomorrow it's going to rain so heavily, but the rain would not touch the cloud. It's going to reach about 5 feet and then the rain disappears. This is not a natural phenomenon now. And now you must give the exact time and place this is going to happen, because if there's one thing the Jews know very well, and they are damn right, is that the devil has evil power to manipulate some of these things. And but they know the devil might not get the exact thing detail for detail. So the Jews will want everything detail for detail. And now if you say, okay, it's going to start about exactly 7 a.m. and then this thing starts, let's say 7:05, automatically you are disqualified, because they know God would know everything detail for detail, and they are damn right. The Almighty Triumph God should know everything detail for detail. So this is the number one part which Muhammad failed the test. Did he make a prophecy? No, he kept saying, I'm just a warner, I'm just a warner. Someone who wants people is not a prophet. That's number one. That's the first red flag the Jews got. But okay, fine, they still welcome him to Medina when his people wanted to kill him, and they were like, fine, you can stay with us. Then some months later, Muhammad slaughtered all the Jews in Medina, take over their home, rape their women, enslave their kids. And this was another red flag for the Jews to know that Muhammad is not a prophet. But this is not the second reason they disqualified Muhammad as a prophet. The second reason they disqualified Muhammad as a prophet was number two, he started asking for money to support God. This is so laughable. Does God need money? God, so sorry. But Mike, this is so funny, right? God gives us money. We don't help God with money.
Very
Right?
true, very true.
Exactly, the Jews would know that any prophet asking for money is just a false prophet coming under the guise or under the cover of God to extort money from people. So he goes now to the Jewish leaders and he's like, okay, God has called me to be a prophet. You need to support the work of God. And the Jews are like, no, it doesn't work like that. Joseph was a shepherd, David was a king. God blesses all his prophets as a message and as a sign to show others that indeed this person is covered by the grace of God and by the miracles of God. They don't ask people for money. God blesses them. God blesses them abundantly. Read through the history of the prophets. They are all very successful in what they do. Elijah was successful. Joseph was successful. Jacob was very successful until when he misplaced just the stuff between him and Joseph happened. Don't know what to name that yet. So this was the second red flag, and then the Jews started questioning, is this really a prophet? Should the prophets be doing this, asking people for money? This is what false prophets do. And then the third reason is actually Muhammad's actions that made them disqualify him finally, and they say, no, this guy cannot be from Yahweh, this guy cannot be from our God. It's either this guy is actually a false prophet, thinking probably God called him, or he knows what he's doing and he's trying to manipulate people, and they were damn right. Because prophets do not go kill people and then rape women and go doing bad things and then saying God sent them to do so. This is what false prophets do. And then the Jews are very smart people. They were able to understand that this is a false prophet. Muhammad did not even make any correct prophets in his life, and if you study all the prophets, they said something or they did something that you'd know is from God. Muhammad did not show any kind of divine power, like Moses parted the Red Sea, things like that. Muhammad did nothing. He kept saying, I'm just a warner. If you're a warner, you're not a prophet. And then he makes claims like, oh, I'm a prophet. If I'm lying, may God cut my aorta. And the aorta is the truth. May God seize me by the right hand and cut off my aorta. This is the claim Muhammad makes. And how did he die? He didn't die from just the poison of the woman. Before he died, he said to Aisha, oh Aisha, I feel now as if the poison has cut my aorta. So we know God would not come down and seize him or send angels to seize him, obviously. If he says cut my aorta, that means he's going to die by his aorta being cut off. And him saying this shortly before he died was the last signs the Jews needed to know that he's not a prophet of God. I don't want to say false before Muslims come at me, but study your own scriptures and these things I say that there. If you need references, say it in the comment section and I give you Quran and Hadith references, Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, and a lot of surahs in the Quran where these things occurred, and then you see who Muhammad really is, and then you use your standard of judgments, because I believe God gave you people brains to think. And that's why I'm thinking and I'm concluding that the Jews were damn right. And because of this is why the Muslims hate the Jews till today, but a lot of you don't even know it, and you think it's just about Israel and Palestine, but it's far beyond that. Now I'll release a part 2 for the other video so you can try and correct some things, so you can know why the Muslims really hate the Jews. So bye for now. God bless you all. See you all next week. And please subscribe, promote my videos, and God bless you. I know it's taking a lot of time to do these videos because my main phone has an issue, and I need to do some things like Michael had to help me with the phone today, and say thank you to him. Thank you, Mike.
Drop a like, guys.
Yeah, bye.
God bless.